Hi YouTubers, I'm glad you're all here. Thank you very much for joining me. Probably wondering why I'm showing you a blank screen. Well, it's not blank. This is an image from the camera there at Mauna Loa, Hawaii. That over here might be some sort of building, and you can see one little star up over here. Yesterday, Hawaii time at 6:21 p.m. there was a magnitude 3.6 earthquake there at Mauna Loa, and USGS gave it an intensity level of 3 because of the reports that came in. It was fairly shallow, 2.1 kilometers in depth, or 1.3 miles below sea level. All earthquakes are measured from sea level. Here's the felt reports. We got it over all the way to Hilo and Captain Cook's Bay. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah. Mauna Loa is a shield volcano. It's been 38 years since its last eruption. They really don't know when it's going to erupt. They'll know when it's erupting after it's already erupting. Most of the, about half of the eruptions have been at the summit. And then other past eruptions have been along its sides. Scientists believe that the magma chamber there in Mauna Loa actually have a lot more magma stored than Kilauea. On this map there's been 22, now we got 27 earthquakes within the last 24 hours. So the next eruption could be right here at the summit, or it could be along any of the rift zones because of its steep sides. Depending on the direction that the magma flows, it could be a fairly fast moving magma, but it's not going to erupt in an explosive eruption because there's not really a lot of gases in the magma. They figure too that it would probably take weeks or months for the lava to reach Hilo over here on the eastern side of the Big Island. And then there's other volcanoes that would probably block the flow of the magma going to the western side of the island. Here we have a map and lava flow hazards. Okay, and over here we got Hilo, and then we got two other volcanoes off over here. Now these are the ones that would probably block the lava flows going towards the west. USGS has a map showing the current gases that are emitting on the island, and most of it's from Kilauea. They have about 60 tilt meters there at Mauna Loa. Here's the current global positioning for that volcano, and you can see it's been slowly rising up since probably February of this year. And then we got another one here. This goes back probably 5 years, which would have started back in 2017. And then this is, monthly. I was only able to get one monitor to download the data. And you can see all the earthquakes marked in red. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Now this goes back to the 8th of this month. I don't know if you can see it up there at the top, 11/8. And we'll bring it over and bring it down. Let's see. Go down to a little bit farther. Now this would be the 9th, what it's showing here yesterday. And we'll come down a little bit farther. Okay, and this is today, what it's showing today. This is the seismic signature for that magnitude 3.6. Let's look at the spectrogram. And let's see if they were telling the truth. Yeah, they were. They weren't fudging, but it comes in as a magnitude 3.66. Those with larger monitors might be able to see it down there where it says MD 3.66. And let's go back to the seismic signature. What they did was make that bigger add in some other earthquakes that occurred during that time. See, there's one there, and there's another one there. Let me pull it over. And some more there. Yeah, that's what they did. They added all those in to this earthquake instead of individual separate earthquakes. The next largest one that I see on this monitor would probably be this one right here. All right, let's try and make that bigger. And let me close that out. Yeah, I'm expecting a large earthquake there in Alaska. It's been really rocking lately. 9:53 Universal Time. And it's not being reported. That's really odd. See, we got Universal Time. We got 8:02 and 11 o'clock. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't report that one. Let's go to the spectrogram. There's actually 2 earthquakes there. And yeah, so I'll add it all together. I come up with a magnitude 3.15. And like I said, there's several earthquakes in there. And I cut it off right there at the end of this other smaller quake right there. We'll go to seismic signature. I'll have to make that bigger. Alright, right there. And we'll pull it over. Oh, no, okay. I thought I went off the line. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, magnitude 3.15. I don't know why they didn't report it. More recently, when I downloaded the data, that would be probably this one right there, 1311. They're saying that is a magnitude 1.7. I get a magnitude 1.77, so they didn't fudge about that one. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't report that other one. I wonder, it's got such a definite signature. You know, look at the line of melt that came up. Yep. And then, of course, there's always the threat of the slump falling into the ocean. Yeah, it would create such a huge tsunami. Yeah, probably at least 1,000 feet high. Let's go to that location of the magnitude 3.6. Alright, we'll zoom in there. Right there. That's the location, and here's the crater. So they have no idea when it's going to erupt. They do know it's on a higher state of alert, that it's getting ready to erupt. Yeah, I don't think I would believe them that it would take weeks or even months for the magma to reach all the way to Hilo. And watching the volcano eruption there in the Canary Islands, how yeah, the magma likes to just flow around other mounds of past eruptions. I would not trust that the other volcanoes here on the west coast would deflect the magma going in that location. It would be devastating, the economic money lost if the magma did flow off in this direction. You guys always need to be prepared. They know it's going to erupt. Like I said, it's got a lot more magma than what Kilauea has. So yeah, just be prepared. So what are your thoughts? Put those comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please stay safe. I tell you that because I care about you. Someone made a comment about, why do you always say, and everybody else, for them to be safe? Well, that's why they have warning labels on just about every product made, because people don't think, they just react. So you guys be safe, be prepared, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.